Hello and welcome to this demo video. Before we get started, I'd just like to explain to you a few things which will relate to all of the basic range spreadsheets. Number one, there is a key on the intro and setup tab of all of the spreadsheets showing what the different color headers mean. The blue headers mean that the cell's formulated, so it's locked and you can't change it. The yellow headers are where you can input data, and occasionally there might be some gray headers, which is just a different kind of data input, but we'll include instructions as and when that happens. The other thing that you can be aware of is there are ways in which you can damage the spreadsheet. So please do take a look at the link where you see this image, which will take you to a web page to show you how to better preserve your spreadsheet. Please feel free to keep a blank version of the spreadsheet somewhere, so that if you do mess up a spreadsheet that you're using, you can in fact just open a new one, a blank one. And some of the spreadsheets only last for a year, and then you've got a blank one to start the following year. So do keep a blank copy as a backup somewhere. And lastly, wherever you see this image, you can click on it. It'll take you back to the store where you purchased this product to see if you've got anything, any more products. One last thing, to see a demo video, you can click on this on a link that looks like this in order to go to the demo video, but that'll take you to the most recent demo. If in fact we've done upgrades and you're using an older version and you'd like to see the demo relating to your version, then do click on the watch on YouTube link, which will take you to that specific video on YouTube. So I think that's all you need to know. So without further ado, let's move on to this demo video. Thank you. Hello and welcome to this demo video for the website visited sections report. Now, what is this and why does it sound so complicated? What this is very simple. I've tried to make it as simple as possible to use on an ongoing basis, but it is fairly complicated to set up. And the reason for that is because we need to get data from two different sources and we need to consolidate it all together. I'm going to show you how to do that. But what it effectively does is, if you've got a website, for example, and you've got 40 pages on your website and 20 of those pages are blog post pages, what percentage, and if that's 50% of your website is made up of blog posts, for example, how many views on your website are actually coming to blog posts? Now, obviously, we know from Google Analytics that you can analyze right down to which page people are coming to visit, and that's great. But sometimes what you want to do is actually combine pages within a section of your website or a category, and then see what percentage of each category, what the breakdown is of all of your pages. So, for example, 20% of your website are actually devoted to blog posts, or 50% of your website are devoted to blog posts. Are 50% of your views going on the blog posts? Because if you've got 50% of your website devoted to blog posts and only 10% views, or vice versa, you can then decide which sections maybe to expand, or which ones aren't getting enough visitors, that kind of thing. So this is essentially, you can create up to 20 sections. So that's what I've put mine. I've made, there's certain ones like the rugby game and stuff, you kind of think, well, why is that important? Well, I'll show you why. This is more to do with the data than it is to do with what I'm actually wanting to monitor. But if you if you put on the sections and then put what percentage of views you expect to be at each section, I'll just put 5% for everyone for the time being. We'll show up 100, but you can obviously edit that. The other thing is you put your website link in here. Now, when I say your website link, I mean as per your data, because what it's going to do is, let's just go to the raw data and have a look. I'm just going to show you on the one that I've done already. Excuse me. When I go to the raw data, you can see the actual website it takes that website link and removes that first section, which you've said is the web, and then it removes, which you've said is your website link, and then it removes those two characters there to leave you with the page name. So from the point of view of your website pages, when you get the links, what is your actual domain, which is that, so that it just removes that to give you back your page name. All right, let's have a look and see how we do this. Let's go back to the first spreadsheet, because this is actually a blank one. So you put in all of your sections, you put what percentage of the views that each section should get, you put in your website link, you're ready to go. Now you move over to the raw data. Now there are two tabs here. Obviously, we want to get your existing web pages because we need to know what web pages you've got. And if you just get your Google Analytics only shows the pages that have actually been visited. So what about all those pages that haven't got any visits? So we need to know about a full list. Now, if you don't have access to this, that's fine. You can just use the Google Analytics, which I'll show you how to get. But if you do have access to this, this is where you paste in the values. So I would collect them elsewhere. Now, I've managed to put a plug-in onto the WordPress website temporarily just to get access to all of these pages. So what I did was I came here like this. I went down to the bottom, right-click, copy, came into the spreadsheet, right-click, paste values. Not normal paste. Normal paste will paste over the formatting and ruin your spreadsheet. Paste values so that you're just pasting in the data, you're not pasting in all the formatting from the first spreadsheet. Paste values. Now I've got a list of the website pages. It knows what the pages are because it's removing the first bit, because I've put in here what the website link is. It may be what you want to do if you are using this feature is actually come here, put this data in first, and then take that, no, sorry, not from there, from the edge of your domain, that, copy, come into the intro and setup, and paste it up there. Because if you paste that into there, now you've got the exact text and it knows exactly what you're looking for. So that's the first step, is to get your website pages. Now it knows what the pages are. Now what you can do is you can come here to the pages and categories. And you can see it says here 295 new pages. Because what it's done is it's found those pages that aren't on this list. So effectively those pages are hidden behind the yellow. So what you can do, if you've only got 2 or 3, you can come here and select, and it'll give you the next one to select. It'll tell you what to select in that cell. But if you've got a lot, what you can do is you can actually come down here, and let's start over again, and scroll down and actually just highlight the yellow ones. Now, as I said, the yellow ones will turn yellow because there's something hidden behind there. When we get to the bottom of the yellow, you'll see that they'll actually go blue. There we go. So the blue ones don't have anything. So if you do that, right-click, copy, come back here, page down, start at the top cell, right-click, and paste values again. Remember, not normal paste because that'll ruin them. They go all yellow. Paste values. Now what it does is it's got all of those pages onto your website. It's as simple as that. Now, yes, you may have duplicates and things like that. We'll get to that in a minute, but effectively you've got those pages all down on that spreadsheet. Now, if, for example, let's just take one away. If you've taken one away, so if you do this again, once you put those pages onto here, you can actually come and you can remove this data because it's not necessary anymore. But now let's say I did remove the data and I put another batch of data and it's found that there's one that I haven't got. Now it says pages, one new page, and then now it's over there. So now instead of copying, I can just come here and select that page, and now it's got the page and it's got everything I need. So that is how you put your pages across. Now let's do the other set of data. So we've got your pages. Now we want to bring in the Google Analytics page view. Now what might happen is you may actually have a page view here which you haven't accounted for here, because what you might do is you may do this at the beginning, because this is easy to do at the beginning to get all your pages in, and you might clear that. Now from now on you may not necessarily need to use this. You might be able to just use your Google Analytics, because your Google Analytics is also looking for new pages. So let's go to the Google Analytics export. Now I want to use the page, that's fine. I don't want to use page views because I don't want page views, I want unique page views. Now you can choose which one you use. Do you want page views or unique page views? Personally, I prefer unique. So I'm just going to delete the page views column. Don't do the header. Take those, edit, copy, and then come back here again. And now put it on this side, paste values. Remember, not normal, paste values. Now, where did I get that Google data from? You can have a look up here. I went to Google Analytics, went into behavior, site content, all pages, set the data range to 5,000 rows. That's very important because it's set, you only download one page at a time of data. So if you set it to 5,000 rows, you get 5,000 rows of data rather than 50 or whatever the default is. And then export to CSV. That's what I did. Now I've got all the pages and I know all the page views. So now when I go back to page and categories, you can see it says 112 new pages because Google thinks it's found more pages that I didn't have before from at my website.
So all I'm going to do is I'm going to scroll down and I'm going to try and find the yellow bit. So when I get down to the bottom, in fact I can do this shift control down and it goes down, and now I've found the Google pages. So now if I go to the Google pages, this is what's found by the Google Analytics. Edit, copy, shift control down to the bottom there, right click, paste values. Now I've got all of those ones, but now it says that there's some duplicate pages because Google is on a little bit of a mission, and some of these pages I don't really need because they were just temporary pages that I was testing and they're not actual pages that people are going to visit, or it's been products that I've taken down, or whatever the case might be. So if there are any red ones, I'm just going to remove them because there are duplicates. So if I take that one out, if you take out one and if you've got two that are matching and you take one out and the other one, the red one goes away, then it means that it's the last one left. So if it stays red, you can take them out. Says I've got duplicate pages. Just scroll down there. You see there we go. Got 4 of the same ones. So let's take those ones out. That one turned white, so that's the last one left. So we leave it, and we keep on scrolling down. We just take out the duplicates of all of the ones. There we go. So now the duplicates have disappeared, and we've got a complete list of pages, even some that we're not necessarily going to be using. All I do then is I come back here and I just sort that one A to Z because now I've got all the data I need. There we go, we've got all the different pages, and if I come back to the raw data, I can now remove that. Now, because I've got the pages, I know this was a bit of a lengthy process, and you might say, why don't you just put the data in and let it just look? Why must you then go and select on the other page? The reason is because you're going to be adding the section to all of these pages. So once you've got the set up the first time, it is a bit of a hassle, but once you've got it set up, you should have all of your pages here. The only time you should really need to add new pages in the future is when you actually add a new page to your website, in which case you don't necessarily have to do the website pages again. You can just do the Google Analytics, because as soon as you have a view, it will pick it up and it'll tell you, as it did before, it'll say one new page. Go scroll down to the bottom, have a look where it's got the yellow block, select what the page is, and then it's got all the pages on. So now it's got all the pages. There aren't any duplicates. You've got rid of the duplicates. Everything's good to go. So now what you do is you scroll down here and you go basically through all your pages and select which section they're in. Again, this is just the first time you select it. Once you do, you only have to add this onto new ones. So select which category they're in. So I've done that on the second one. I'm not going to do it now for the video. So I've done that already here, and when it comes to this data, you need to leave the Google Analytics page view data in because that's got the number of views and that's where it's getting the views from. But this website data here, once you've selected all the pages, you can actually come and clear the pages. Right, so you can clear that data. You don't need to keep this data in once you've selected the page categories. But when you put the Google data in, you do need to keep it in because that's keeping the page views and showing you the page views. So here you've got your pages, the About Us section. If I scroll down to the bottom, you can see these obscure pages that aren't actually pages that shouldn't be getting views, and you don't want to assign them. Just don't assign them. If you leave them blank, they won't be assigned to a section. Those that are actual legitimate pages will be assigned to a section. You can select what section that is that each one is assigned to. And then you can see the visit count for that particular page, which is coming from this Google Analytics data. So next time I want to update this data, I can just come clear this content, paste values in again with the new data, and then it will give me an analysis on the new data. But first, once I do that, just come to pages and categories. Just check here if there are any extra pages that you need to add on the bottom, as I showed you how. If that's the case, then you're all done. You're basically ready. So yes, it is a bit of a complicated setup, but this is just the first time where it's a bit complicated. As I said, when you're adding on pages, it's really only a page or two every now and then, unless of course you're adding on loads and loads of pages every day. Once you're done with that and you've got your raw data, keep your Google Analytics in, you've got all your pages set up, all the page names and the sections all assigned, any that you're not using blank, you're ready to go. The last thing to do is literally just have a look at the report. So here is your report. This is the number of pages in each section broken down by how many pages you actually have. This is the number of views in each section. Now, mine are massively distorted because as I'm recording this video, it's now in February, and it's Six Nations time, and it's the year after a Rugby World Cup year. So I had some free spreadsheets downloads for the Rugby World Cup, and I had some free spreadsheet downloads for the Six Nations, and those just went absolutely chaotic before both of the tournaments. My website views went up. I don't even know what it was. It was about 600%. Just went absolutely crazy with these World Cup downloads. So let's just move this here so we can see more of the report. So yeah, from that point of view, these figures are somewhat distorted because as you can see here, these are the free downloads. I mean, they're the free download pages that makes up 4% of my website, but here the free download made up 34% of my views. And here's the Rugby World Cup game, which made 18% of my views, and I think that is what? Rugby World Cup, 0% of the website. So those two are massively distorted, but here you can get an idea of the number of pages in each section and what the actual views were to those particular sections. Here you can see a breakdown of all the different things, all the different sections that you put, where you've got a higher number of views compared to pages and vice versa. And here you can just scroll down to see the percentage of views to each of your different sections, so which one's getting the most views. As you can see, they're free downloads. That's not normally that high. It was really that Rugby World Cup and the Six Nations that have somewhat distorted that. And if you scroll down even further, you can just see all the sections, number of pages, number of views, percentage of pages, percentage of views, what you said to expect. I just put 5%, but you can put what you want in there. And then your views compared to pages and expected. So here, for example, the percentage of pages is 17%. Views 8.46%, expected 5, so it's greater than what I expected, but it's less than the views are less than the pages percentage, so you can see what's better, what's up and what's down from your actual percentage. Now, as I said before, this doesn't necessarily mean anything. You might have an About Us page, or you might have one free download page, which is just one page, but it does get a lot of your views. That's fair enough. I'm not saying you should change this to match these two graphs up or anything. It's literally just to give you an indication of where your visitors are going, because then you can decide what you want to do with that. It doesn't include the home page, so do be aware of that. It doesn't include the home page and all those visits, because I felt that having one home page and having most of your visits coming through there would just massively distort these numbers. So we've left the home page out. So again, don't try and match these two graphs up or anything like that. You need to choose. You need to decide what's best for your website, but just have a look at the figures that they create. And as I said before as well, if you come back to the raw data, when you get new Google Analytics data, you can decide what time frame to do the spreadsheet for. It can be a year, it can be a month, whatever. You just bring in the data that you've got. Also, bear in mind that the Google Analytics page only goes down to 5,000 rows, so it's only really one page of data. So you also need to bear in mind that you need to see how long does it take you to get 5,000 views. If you're doing that a day, well, then you're going to only be able to do a day's worth here, but hopefully you'll be able to get a bit longer out of it, depending on how many views you get to your website. But yeah, I think that explains everything properly. As I said, a bit of a hassle at the beginning to get all the data in, but it's the best way to do it, that it helps you go as you go along. It becomes easier as you update it. So I hope that makes sense to you, and I hope that it's not too confusing to understand. But if this does help you, if this is something you want to know, where your website traffic's going to on your website and what sections of your website they're looking at, then hopefully this will really, really help you to understand that. So yeah, I wish you all the best. Thank you and goodbye.